So basically workflow means like right work is brought to the right sequence at the right time to the right people is called workflow. Okay, and workflow is not tied up with any module. It's a cross application component. By using the SAP workflow, we can implement the scenario for any module. Okay, basically any module. Okay, so, and this is a what is the target goals and objectives for this training. You can see here how to analyze the workflow requirement for a client and how to prepare the blueprint, function specification, technical specification, how to check the standard workflows for each module, how to copy and customize the standard workflow into custom workflow, how to develop a workflow from the scratch level, how to implement the delegation concept, how to trace the events and how to trigger the workflow programmatically, how to implement the third-party integrations using in workflow, how to implement the deadline monitoring, what are the standard transition codes, and that to support as a workflow administrator in the production system. What are the other runtime tools? How to use the SAP HR architecture in a workflow concept. Okay, so these are the main goals and targets for the this training. So if you see all these things, right, session by session, you can see here. In the session one, we are going to discuss on the introduction to workflow and where do we use the workflows, what are the features, and these are the architecture like business workflow architecture, organizational management, business object level. And you can here from the year actually system settings will start. System configuration, you can see what is the workflow basic configuration, how to configure in SW3, what is the definition environment settings, what are the prerequisites to configure the RFC destination, how to configure the RFC destination, what is the runtime environment settings, how to configure the number ranges in workflow, how to configure the user ID as a workflow administrator. So what are the background jobs that we need to activate in SW3? Okay, so these from the first session onwards we can see, we can do in the system, right? We can see SW3 transition code. So whenever you are working on the implementation project or support project, basically workflow development will start from here. SW3, okay. Here I can see. So these are the configuration settings that we are going to work in the first session. You can see RFC configuration and equipment and preparation. But these are the two important points that we need to configure in the SW3. Basically, you will get a chance when you are working in the implementation project. But even you are working in the support project also, if you are implementing the bulk SAP minutes or HRSP or CLC, at that time you will get a chance to work again on the same configuration. So here I will go through each and every node. I will explain to you what is the purpose of this node and why we need to configure. All this will be covered in the session one. Okay, session one is about the introduction about the workflow as well as the this workflow basic configuration. Okay. So this is the first step. Generally we work in the system when you are working as a SAP workflow consultant. Okay, and the session 2 you can see what is a UWL, what is a business workplace, how to approve the work item, how to forward the work item, how to resubmit, how to reserve or not reserve the work item, how to attach the documents to before take action before approve or reject the work item, how to implement substitute functionality, what are the standard functions in the SAP business workplace, what are the standard tables in workflow, what are the standard transfer codes, how to check the system sanity check after configuring the SW3. So session 2 is all about the SAP business workflow functionality. You can see right here. You can run the transition to SP WP, or you can go from easy access also. Okay. You just click on there, you can go here. This is about the SAP business. This is the SAP inbox. Okay, in this inbox you can see right. So these are the options are there like execute the work item, display work item, reserve the work item, unreserve the work item, forward the work item, okay, resubmit the work item, check the log, okay, attach the log, put to the work item. So these are the options are there, as well as we can implement the substitute functionality here. So these are all the functionalities we can discuss in the session 2. Okay, and as well
Sure. Yeah.
there are many standard tables, many standard transaction codes are there, so that we need to learn. So what is the purpose of that, what is the purpose of that no transaction, what is the purpose of that functionality, we are going to learn in the session 2. Okay, here you can see this particular point, UWL and business workflow. So these are both are same. Okay, business workflow is a business workplace is here in the SAP GI side, we'll call this inbox as a business workplace. The same way,
Okay.
we have a enterprise portal, right? UP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, enterprise portal side, that inbox will call it as UWL. UWL means universal work list. Okay, both will be same. Whenever the work item is available in the SAP inbox, the same work item will be available in the UWL. Okay, functionality is same, but look and feel will be different. Okay, so
Okay.
we
Yeah.
are, but we are as part of the training, we are going to work with the SAP business workplace. Okay,
Sure. Okay. Okay.
so in the session 12, session 2, we are going to discuss about the this functionality. And
Yeah.
session 3, you can see that in session 3, what are the transaction codes to check the event trace, how to do the event trace, how to check the event trace log, the standard event linkage and binding concept, how to copy the standard workflows into custom workflow, how to check the application data, how to check the standard event data and standard event application container, what is the purpose of the global container, why we need to create, how to pass the data from the global container to other containers, what is event binding, how to implement the event binding concept. And here is a one practical scenario. You can see copy a standard workflow into custom workflow and implement email step. Okay. So in the session 3 actually we are going to discuss about the so let's say for example you are going to implement one workflow for a particular transaction code, right? So to implement a workflow for the particular transaction code, first of all we need to check is there any standard workflow there in the system or not, or already any workflow implemented in the system or not. So you want to check the
Mm-hmm.
standard workflow or else already if it is a support project. If you want to check any
Okay.
workflow already implemented by others, okay, to check and trace that, we have a transaction code called SWLS. Okay, by using this
Okay.
transaction code, we'll trace the workflows. We trace the active workflows in the system. Okay, if you
Mm-hmm.
activate and run the transaction code, right, then you will get the when you run the transaction code SWL, you will get the
Mm-hmm.
list of workflows. Okay, in the okay, you will get the list of workflows which are already active in the system. You can get the business object, you will get the event, and you will get the workflow template. You can see all these things you will get here. So by
Okay.
using this transaction code, basically we'll find out the workflow in the system, whether the workflow is there or not in the system. We'll find out. So those
Sure.
topics we are going to work in the session 3. Okay, and we'll take any one standard workflow and we'll copy it to custom workflow. We'll implement we'll check all the binding like event table binding, event trace, what is application data, what is event container, what is a global container. So all these things we are going to discuss in the session 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the session 4 onwards, you can see implement a travel request scenario with the user decision step and email step. Okay, if you go to the
Mm-hmm.
so to create a workflow, basically we have a transaction code. We have a two transaction codes. One is the SWDD and PFTC. Okay, let me show you what are the steps that we are going to create. Here you can see if you go to the workflow deploy, right? Let's say for example this is a workflow. Okay, to implement
Mm-hmm.
any workflow in the system, basically these are the steps that we use to design the graphical design. Here
Okay.
in the session 4, you can say it in the session 4, we are going to discuss on the user decision step and email step. You can see.
Mm-hmm.
This two, right? You can see. Practically implement a travel request scenario with user distance step and email step, and how to trace the events and business object for a travel request module for a transaction code trip. How to implement the delegation concept. As part of this session, we'll copy the standard business subject into custom business subject. Okay,
Okay.
let me show you that. W1. Okay, this is the standard business object. Okay, to write something, to write our custom code in the business subject, to add our own logic, right? Basically, SAP standard business subject will not allow. So that is the reason what we will do is we'll copy into subtype. They will implement the delegation integration. So that integration will call as a delegation here. Can
Okay.
see? So this concept, how to implement, how to copy, how to implement the delegation concept. So the delegation concept we'll discuss in the session 4. And we can say write a logic to get the agents from the custom business object attributes. Write a logic to get the email ID from the custom business object. What is the purpose of the user distance step? Why we need to copy standard user distance task into custom task? How to implement the subject line and custom text in the user distance? Okay, so these are the topics we are going to discuss in the session 4. Okay, so in the session 4 you will came to know these two steps, user distance step and email step, as well as the delegation concept and how to copy the standard business object into custom business object. So the
Okay.
two
Out
major,
of this,
yeah.
yeah, Ramesh. Out of this, all these steps, what is which are maximum useful in the real time?
Yes,
Like, you know,
yes, yes,
I
Max.
don't think so. We use it.
So let me go through all the scenario, all the sessions, so that you will get complete idea of all the steps. Each and every
Okay.
steps will be covered in the as part of the training. Okay.
Okay.
In the fourth session, we are going to work on the these two steps, right? User decision and email.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me show you the other sessions. In the session 5, you can see what is a practical scenario. Create a custom workflow with the user decision step, email step, container operation, true or false condition. You can see user decision
Okay.
step, email step, container operation, and true or false condition. So these 4 steps,
Okay.
including these 4 steps, we are going to create a one scenario. In that
Mm.
scenario, I am going to explain the, you can see these are the topics. What is the purpose of the email step? How many ways we can implement the email step? What is the purpose of the container? How to implement the container operation in the workflow? What is the purpose of the true or false condition? How to check the email login SOST transaction code? What is the SOST configuration? How to check the email log? Okay, how to check the workflow true or false condition in the workflow container. So these 5 in the session 5, right? So you are going to learn the 4 steps from this design. So from this out of this 14 steps, you are going to learn the 4 steps. Send mail, use the decision, condition, container operation, right? 4 steps that you are going
Yeah.
to learn in the session 5. And if you see session 6, what is the purpose of the wait event and what is the purpose of process control step? There are other sessions here. What is the purpose of the process control step and what is the purpose of the wait event? So these 2 steps, I'll create a particular 2 separate scenarios and I'll show you what is the purpose of this and how we will implement in the real time. Okay. In the session 6, we are going to learn those things. In the session 7, you can see what is the purpose of the fork, how to use in the workflow. This is step 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the session 8, create a workflow with user decision step, email step, fork, process control, wait event, container operation, true or false condition. Till now, till session, right? Till session 7, we have learned the send email, user decision, condition, wait, container operation, process control, fork, right? So by using
Okay.
all these steps, we are going to create a one full cycle scenario. Okay. So we are in the
Okay.
session part of session 8 with combination of all the steps. We are going to create a one full cycle scenario in the travel request module. So that you'll get a complete idea like how to use all the steps in the real time,
Okay.
right? And the session 9, you can see what is the purpose of the multi condition steps, how to implement it in the workflow, and you can see there are 2 things. If you go to the multi condition steps, in the multi conditions we can use a there are two types of multi-condition steps, case and switch. You can see, just click select the multi-condition steps here. Matrix system. Let me show you. Let me just go to the pipeline. Sorry. Okay. Multi-condition step. You can see it. If you see the multi-condition step, then you have a type of two types, case and switch, right? So we are going to work with it. I'll show you the practical scenario and the two types. What is the purpose of the case, how to implement it, and what is the purpose of the switch, how to implement in the real time scenario. Okay, so there will be two practical scenarios for these two things. You can see session 9 we are going to work on these things, and as well as there is a one more step called loop until. Okay, you can see loop until. What is the purpose of the loop until, how to implement in the system. Okay, so session, as part of the session 9 we are going to work on the loop and as well as the multi-condition steps. Okay. Okay, and session 10 you can see create a scenario for the multiple levels of approvals. Okay, now you already learned the send mail, user decision, condition, multiple condition, wait, content operation, process control, loop, fork, right? So by using all this combination, we are going to create a one full cycle scenario. Okay, which will like a three level workflow. Like let's say for example, first level manager is approved, then now to send the worker to the second level manager. Once the second level manager approved, then now to send the worker to the third level manager. And each and every level we are going to implement the email steps. Okay, so that scenario we are going to create in the as part of the session 10. Create a workflow with multiple levels of approvals. Okay, and you can see, and session 11 is about the, so before like after completing this session, then there are other steps like activity. Right? This activity and all, to work on this activity we need a programming logic. So for that, so before you go into the workflow programming concept, we need to know the basic concept of the SAP HR app. Basically, how to check the employee number, how to check the employee user master data like email ID, user ID, reporting manager. Okay, what is architecture, how to check the architecture, all these things, right? So whatever it is required to the SAP workflow point of view, in the session 11, I'll give you an overview on the SAP HR app. Okay. So that it will be easy for you to work in the production system as well as while during the workflow also, the development system. So session 11 about the SAP HR ABAP overview. Okay. And the session 12 is about the again. So from the session 12 onwards, we are going to work on the workflow programming concept. You can see what is the purpose of delegation concept, how to implement subtype concept, how to create a custom attributes. Then we can write a logic in the attributes to get a email address. And here a practical scenario. Create a workflow with custom attributes, send an email notification and work item to the agent inbox, single and multi-container concept. Single and multi-container in the sense, sometimes you have to send the work item to the single user, you have to send the work item to the multiple users, right? So that concept let me show you. Okay, you can see, let me create one container. Say import export, and this is called multi-container. if you select this checkbox, right, then we can send the, we can add the multiple agents to this container. Multiple agents means user 1, user 2, user 3, like that. It will act like a table. You can see the difference here.
Okay.
Okay, suppose if you are not, if you want to send the bucket to only one user, right, then don't select the checkbox.
Oh.
Okay, so those concepts we are, okay, we are going to work on the session 12 for this concept, and session 13 you can see, right, how many types of methods and how to create, how many types of methods in the workflow, and you can see create a dialog method using the activity step.
Is there any ABAP coding is required?
Yeah,
Too much coding is there?
no, basic ABAP coding is required. So that basic ABAP coding is, I'll show you how to write it, and where we are going to write the all the logic here. You can see the custom attributes. This is custom business object. In this custom business object, we can create a methods here. These are the attributes, and you can see
Okay.
these are the methods. So in this method, basically, we'll write a simple logic to get the agents from the architecture or from the architecture or from the G table. You can see this is a simple logic select queries will be there. So this logic, how to write the logic in the methods and attributes, and how to pass this values to the global container, workflow container. So that topic we are going to work on the from session 13 onwards, right?
Okay.
13 session 14, and session
Okay.
15 is about all the background jobs. You can see some background methods. These many types of methods we have. You can see it's a synchronous method, means background method. If you select the checkbox dialog, right, it's a dialog method. Other user need to take action. And here, these are the types of methods: function module method, API methods, transaction, dialog, report, and others. So we are going to work on the each and every method, so that whenever you get a requirement, you can use that. You can create a method using that type, right? So in the session 14, 15, and all, we are going to work on this on this method. And the session 16, you can say how many types of containers in workflow. What is application data? What is the event container, global container, task container, rule container, method container? What is the purpose of the import and export parameter? How many types of agents? What is the possible agents? How to implement the exclude agents? How to implement the task level agents, workflow level agents? What is the purpose of classification? And there is a one complete scenario on the all these steps. Okay, in the session
Okay.
16. And session 17, you can see it, how to create a standard rule in the workflow, how to check the standard rules, how to create a custom rule, what is the T code to create a rule, how to find out the rule, standard rules, how to use it, how to create the function model based rule, okay, how to pass the data from the global container rule container, and there is a one practical scenario on this. Okay, rules in the sense, you can see when you are working on the workflow, right? Okay, there are different types of agents. If you see this user decision step, right? In the user decision step, you can see these are the types of agents. We can get the agents by using the role. We can get the agents by using the role, argument, job, positions, work center, user, expression, or initiator, and superior. So these many ways we can get the agents into the workflow. So we are going to work on the each and every type. How to use the workflow, how to use the rule, or argument positions, right? So as part of this rule concept, there is a transition tool called PFPC. By using this PFPC, generally we'll create, let me show you any of the custom role. You can see these are the roles. So how to create these rules? Here these are the types of rules. Here most of the time we are going to work on the responsibility and function to be executed. These things we are going to work on the session 17 as well as in the session 18. Session 17 is for the function model based. Basically we have to create a function model. That function model we have to convert it to role. Okay. And the session 18 is the responsibility. Without writing a logic, we can get the agents into the workflow. That is based on the responsibility based on. Okay. In the session 8 we are going to work on the responsibility. In the session 19 you can say, right, these are the remaining types are given to job, position, work center, right? Using these steps, how to get the agents into the workflow. As part of the session 19 we are going to work on these scenarios. And from the session 20 onwards, workflow admin activities. There are many transaction codes to support in the production system as a workflow consultant. Right? These are the transaction codes to check the workflow log, to support whether the workflow is created or not, all these things, right? So there are some transaction codes. So we are going to work on those transaction codes. And as well as you can see there is a configuration, it's called extended notification. Okay. Generally there is a concept, generally whenever work item is there in the inbox, we have to send a reminder mail till work item is approved. Am I right? So that concept we can implement by using the extended notification. So that concept we are going to configure in the session 20, as well as we are going to work on the workflow admin activities. And session 21 is about the, again there are other transaction codes. So we are going to work on the SW1, SWIA, workload balances, is 58. Okay, how to approve the work item without logging to the inbox. How to check the technical log, how to check the container, how to restore the workflow operator, how to check the buffer issues, what are the other reporting tools. So session 21 about the all the workflow standard transactions and what is the purpose, how to check without how to check in, how to work in the production system using those transaction codes. It's all about in the session 21. And session 22 is about the complete deadline monitoring concept. You say what is the purpose of the deadline monitoring, how to implement, like it's escalation process. If you see here, these are the tabs, right? Requested start, latest start, requested end, latest end, right? These tabs are about the deadline monitoring concept. Let's say for example you sent a worker, you created a scenario, you create a request. That request should be approved by your manager within a 24 hours, within a 1 day, okay, or within a 2 days. Suppose if your manager is not up to the work item within that specific time, if we want to escalate the work item for the next level, right? Then by using this deadline monitoring concept, we are going to implement the scenarios. So this scenario we are going to work on the session 22. Okay. So these are session 22, and we are going to create a one complete say the scenario here. So these are the complete topics in the workflow training. Sure. So other than this, if you need anything, just let me know. We can add and we can work on that. You have any questions?
No,